Welcome back to our virtual celebration of Easter on the Farm 2021 at the Pennsylvania German Cultural Heritage Center at Kutztown University. In our next program, we will enjoy traditional foodways of Eastertime in Terry Berger's Pennsylvania Dutch kitchen. Terry, of Lay or Bust Farms in Lehighton, has been a part of each of our virtual events, demonstrating regional culinary favorites of the Pennsylvania Dutch and Moravian traditions. We hope you enjoy your visit to Terry Berger's Pennsylvania Dutch Kitchen.
Guten Morgen und willkommen zur Osterzeit Offenbarei 2020. Good morning and welcome to Easter on the Farm 2020. This morning in the summer kitchen, I'll be making 3 salads for you. I thought at Easter time I would focus on salads as something green that the Pennsylvania Germans eat this time of year. So the first salad I'll be making is a very typical one, salad with hot bacon dressing, or Salat mit Speck Brie. The second one I'll be making is called hot slaw, or I know it as Herrnhuterkraut, Moravian cabbage. This is an older dish. Maybe your grandparents remember it, or your parents may remember it. And the last I'll be making is called spring salad, or Salat, which has a sour cream dressing on it and is not cooked. So come on along and join me while I make these dishes for your enjoyment. We'll start our salads with a little prep work here in the main kitchen. So with a regular head of lettuce, the best way to get the heart out, smack it on the countertop, and your heart comes right out. This will be for the spring salad and also the hot bacon dressing salad. And you just want it broken up into bite-sized pieces. The next step will be slicing some onion. And actually for this recipe, I just sliver the onion up, just making very fine slices with the grain of the onion. Next, and this is for the hot slaw. This will be cabbage. And for this, you just want a very fine slice. And the last piece of our prep this morning is slicing up some bacon. You know, everything good starts with bacon. I'm not giving you proportions and amounts right now because I am making smaller amounts, so for demonstration purposes. And at the end of my video this morning, I will be giving you the recipes for these dishes. But you do want to cut your bacon into about 1/2 inch pieces. And we'll get this in the pot to start cooking it. So I have the bacon on the stove. I'm going to start rendering this out. So I have the cooked bacon as well as the bacon fat, because both of those are important ingredients in the hot bacon dressing as well as the hot coleslaw. Let me just check my fire here, make sure it's where it needs to be. Come on, baby. So I just charged up the stove again, added some more fuel for it. And the bacon is starting to fry out nicely, render up. So while this is started, I'm also going to bring the cabbage back and get the cabbage started for the hot coleslaw. So I got my bacon rendering here, and I got the pan on for the hot coleslaw. And to start the hot coleslaw, it's a matter of starting our cabbage in the pan. Putting some water on it and starting it to steam. And I will switch these around. Just to get these cooking a little more evenly. Alrighty, come back in a couple moments and we'll check this again. The next step in our hot bacon dressing is making a slurry. And the slurry is composed of flour, sugar, a little bit of salt, and pepper to start. Into this I whisk water. And egg. So we're going to go back now to the stove and check how the bacon is progressing. So you can see the bacon is beginning to render out nicely, and our cabbage is beginning to perk also. Alrighty. Another couple minutes and I'll be assembling the dressing here. So I have our bacon that has been rendered out very nicely and browned. And because I'm doing two dishes with bacon and bacon fat, I decided to cook all of that together. So what I'm doing now is divvying the things up between some bowls. There's sort of a misconception that Pennsylvania German cooking is very heavy and very greasy. If you look, really I have about 2 to 3 tablespoons of fat in the pan here. This is for the hot bacon dressing. So the next step here is to take the slurry that I made and add that to my pan where the bacon was. And I'll return this to the stove. So right now I have the salad dressing here back on the stove, bringing it up to temperature and letting it cook out. Let it thicken up and also get all that good bacon goodness out of the bottom of the pan. My lettuce is on the side here. If you noticed, I moved it to a different part of the stove. On these old stoves, this is my high heat section, this is my low heat section, so I start to fry and boil on this side and to let things steam and gently cook over on this side. So the cabbage is wilting out very nicely. And the dressing is starting to thicken up here as well. See the difference in that already. And like many gravies and sauces, if it gets too thick, I just water it down a little bit with some water. So that is starting to come along very nicely here. Okay, we're going to go back to my workstation. Okay, so I have my salad dressing, the beginnings of it, cooked off. And next is the final product here. And for that, I use a little turmeric, some dried mustard. I will say some newer cooks will just use prepared mustard in it, but being a little old school, I like to do things a little differently. I think it gives it a better flavor. Some vinegar. I will also say that the final dressing, the very final product, really depends on your own personal taste. You can make it sweeter, you can make it more sour. For me, a recipe is a beginning place, and then I take it from there with my own taste buds. I'm going to thin this out with just a little bit more water. Nobody wants a clumpy salad dressing. You see the turmeric gives it a very nice yellow hue and also adds sort of mustardy flavor to enhance the dry mustard. And then I take about half of the bacon that was rendered out. Add that back into the dressing. And there you have hot bacon dressing. So I'm going to dress the salad out. I don't know if this was a common practice in all Pennsylvania German homes or just the one I grew up in, but when Mom made salad, there was no question about what dressing was going to be on it. It was either a hot bacon dressing like this, or if there was another salad dressing, but she always dressed the salad out, and however she dressed it is how we ate it. There wasn't putting different salads out and having people use different dressings and things. Traditional Pennsylvania German hot bacon dressing salad, or Salat mit Speckbrie. Our next dish is the hot coleslaw. So I have the cabbage that has been wilting on the fire on the stove. And you see it's good and wilted at this point. I'm going to transfer this to a bowl, water and all. Next piece of this, hang on one second. I just want to dry the pan out with a towel. And the next step here is the bacon fat, which was rendered out previously. The slivered onions. And I'm going to take this back to the stove and start sauteing the onions. So I have our pan on the stove and I'm starting to render or saute the onions here. They'll take a couple minutes to cook up. I wish you could be here with me. The whole house smells like cabbage and bacon. See, the onions have sauteed out nicely. Next step here, pull a couple things out of the warming closet. Sprinkle some flour on there. That gets mixed into sort of a roux. And then the water from the braised cabbage goes in. Woo. Nothing like a steamed cabbage facial. Bring this to the hot part of the stove. There you see that thickens up nicely. I'll let that get all hot and bubbly. And next we mix in our cabbage. This gets finished out with seasonings, which are composed of caraway seeds, salt, pepper, and sugar. And last but not least, vinegar. And just let that come up to a boil. Okay, so the cabbage has braised nicely, developed a good sauce. I'm going to plate this as a side dish. This is a very nice accompaniment to an Easter ham or any good Pennsylvania German main dish, meatloaf. Even stuffed pig stomach. And just finish that out with the bacon. And there you have hot slaw or Moravian cabbage. Our last salad for today is the spring salad, and really this is the easiest salad to make. The dressing is very easy, and for this one I will give you the recipe for it because really the recipe is in my head. You start with a 1/4 cup of vinegar, and you can use white vinegar or cider vinegar. And again, sweet and sour depends on your own taste, but I will put in pretty close to an equal amount of sugar, a good dash of salt, and some pepper. And you want to mix this until the sugar dissolves. And then to finish the dressing, a can of evaporated milk. And you'll see that this thickens up like a very nice sour cream buttermilk dressing. I'm not sure if it was something related to the Depression or if it was a Pennsylvania German thing. My mother, in a lot of recipes that would have called for heavy cream, she used evaporated milk. So this is one of those. I have made this with heavy whipping cream, and the result comes out very, very similar. So to dress the salad out, some of the dressing goes on the lettuce. And you can, if you like, put some boiled egg on it. A little splash of paprika. And there you have spring salad or fruktsalat. And this is the hot bacon dressing recipe for hot bacon dressing salad. And here we have the hot coleslaw recipe or Herrnhuterkraut. So, ich wünsche euch in fröhlicher Osterzeit gute Fresse von meiner Heimat zu deiner Heimat. I wish you a blessed and happy Easter and good eats from my home to yours.
Thanks for watching, but don't go away. Coming up next, we'll pay tribute to the preeminent architectural historian of the Pennsylvania Barn, Bob Ensminger, with his special presentation, Origins of the Pennsylvania Barn. Cultural programming for this virtual celebration of Easter on the Farm 2021 is brought to you by the Pennsylvania German Cultural Heritage Center at Kutztown University, the hub of Pennsylvania German culture and language. Visit us online at www.kutztown.edu/pgchc. Thank you to all of our viewers, supporters, and friends. Mir zahle groß Dank zu alle unser Gucker, Unterstützer und Freund. Macht's gut.